This is Starman 3, Roblox's first YouTuber exposed for being a creep. From diddling with kids, to getting away with his deplorable behaviour for over a decade, today I will be explaining how Starman got caught and why he is one of the most significant in Roblox's history. Born on the 17th of January 1989, Starman is an OG to say the least. He would join YouTube back in 2006, and as a 17-year-old dude at the time, Starman would begin to gain relevance on his YouTube channel, but not for what you would think. And as we'll discuss later, this may have saved many victims from his disgusting behavior. Starman would start his YouTube journey by posting bloopers and other type of content on the game Super Mario. It was more than safe to say that Starman had a genuine passion for both playing and making content surrounding Super Mario. However, after a year of little success, Starman would start videos on a game that led him down a path of immorality, depravity, and predatory behavior, so bad that he would forever be labeled as a disgusting kitty diddler. But let's not jump too far ahead into his career. At this point, Starman was just having fun with his YouTube channel. He would start to gain notoriety after making his newfound YouTube series called Roblox Bloopers. And little did Starman know at the time, but this was the beginning of the end for him and his YouTube channel. However, nobody could have quite predicted just how terrible things would get. As Starman went on to make more Roblox videos, views would quickly start piling in. The Roblox Goes Crazy series was going viral for him and changing his career in a matter of weeks. Videos in the series garnered over 150,000 views, 300,000 views, and even over 800,000 views. These viral videos of his would break the Roblox community, not because they were necessarily unique or crazy in question, but they were some of the first Roblox videos on the platform, let alone a blooper series. They would get him over 20,000 subscribers, which at the time was huge. That is like having a couple 100,000 subscribers nowadays. He was one of the biggest Roblox YouTubers throughout the 2000s, but what he did with the power that came from it and how he abused it for his own sick desires would end up being the reason that his reputation became so bad. However, there is something really important to this story which we intentionally haven't mentioned up until this point. Back in 2008, Starman would launch his own internet group. It was called the YouTube Rangers. The group consisted of machinists, indie game devs, musicians, and of course, gamers. Whilst it wasn't crazily popular at the beginning, the group hit such a huge boom of popularity after recruiting a YouTuber that would end up getting over 8.8 million subscribers, as well as another creator called Mario that had over 100,000. With the reach from these popular YouTubers' fan bases, more and more people would become familiar with the group. However, nobody quite realized how depraved the owner of this group was. This takes us to a creator who goes by Jacob the Badass 867, a relatively small Roblox content creator who began uploading videos during 2010. However, Jacob's content was far different from his competitors. He was one of the first notable Roblox drama channels. In 2025, we have creators such as Green Lego Cats, Parlo, and even myself in this genre. The basic premise is you upload videos discussing popular and controversial topics within the Roblox community. One of the biggest forms of media in this genre is exposed videos, where the creator would take a look at a controversial topic and lay out all the evidence for the viewers to digest. And for Jacob, he would succeed with this type of content, as one of the biggest videos on his channel would expose a beloved and respected Roblox content creator for some very disturbing things. Little did anyone know at the time, but this was one of the first instances of when a Roblox YouTuber was outed as a predator. During 2013, Jacob would publish a video to his channel that changed the course of his career forever. It was a video entitled The Truth About Starman 3. Nobody knew it at the time, but this one video would cause Starman's entire audience to hate him, but it was well deserved, as you will see.
Hello, fellow badasses. You're probably wondering where the video is. Well, I've actually got something serious on my mind today, and it concerns a certain someone. Nope, not Amiga, not SM64 Peacemakers, not Karate Mario. It concerns the biggest dumbass out of all of them. That little twat himself, Starman 3. I've been on Skype a lot lately, and I came across some information about Mr. Ware, some truths about him. You may be typing in the comment section, but JTC, Starman 3 is such a badass. He would never harm a soul. Well, if you're typing that, erase that comment now, because after the info you'll be shown, you will hate Gay Man 3 just as much as I do.
The video discussed allegations of Starman being a quote man-child, citing him as incredibly immature despite being an adult in real life.
So a while back when Jacob Were's didn't have name glow, Shadow did have name glow and Werefag wanted it. Don't believe me? Here's the evidence. You may be wondering, so what does Starman 3 do? Well, here's the outcome. That Starman 3, he's one of the biggest man-children I've ever met in my history. And believe me, I've met a lot of them. Not gonna name names. Here's some more things that prove Starman 3 is an asshole who can't take negative criticism. See that was negative criticism, which we all know he can't take.
Next, it explored instances of Starman mistreating members of his audience. He was incredibly rude, angry, and impulsive, undoubtedly shattering the crystal clear image he'd built for himself in record time. But later in the video, we'll discuss a dark reality about his online reputation that was so bad it ruined any chance of a career in the future.
Here's what he did to attempt to make him feel better about himself. There is a clear contradiction in the ban reason, Ware and MM are most certainly not equal, and here's the reason why. Because Starman's videos absolutely suck. His remixes sound terrible, his bloopers are also bad, and overall, his face, voice, and grammar make me want to do bad stuff. But anyway, time for some more evidence. How could you do that to one of the funniest internet comics there is, Ware? Despicable cunts. That's one of the main things Starman is. Okay, while I do agree that the Wii U is amazing in more ways than one, I don't agree with the fact that people actually like you for what you are, you worthless monster.
The video continued to explore Starman's wrongdoing and broken moral character, showing screenshot evidence of him acting in a completely deranged, unfiltered, and unhinged manner. He was not setting a good example for his audience, and as a result, was completely alienating them. However, next, the video took a very disturbing turn, accusing Starman of not only being a bad person, but also a disgusting person.
Oh, you wonder why I let Sandra Cheng take over that part? Because that last piece was so gay of Ware, I couldn't even put it into text. Next bit. Green culture pet. I wonder why. Maybe because last year, you took a picture of Beatmax's privates and forced someone else to do bad stuff to it. Yup, clear. Don't believe me? Ask J-Bro and Beatmax themselves.
He didn't just say I love you to someone of age. At this time, Starman was 22 years old, making him a fully grown adult. And the individual that he was proclaiming his love for was disgustingly young. They were 11. Yes, Starman was a so disturbing, awful, and degenerate. He professed his romantic love for an individual half his age. But that wasn't the only video published on Starman and his disturbing conduct. The second video exposing Starman 3 went into detail on what happened after the allegations surfaced. It explored multiple indirect responses from the man himself, but as we'll get into later, he eventually responded to everything in the worst way possible.
By now, the situation has spread around to many communities, and many are aware of his wrongdoings. Many other victims have spoken out during this time as well. It's also been confirmed by one of the victims that he may have done more than being a child predator. He's way more dangerous than most are implying.
According to the video, when the serious allegations surfaced, Starman took an indefinite hiatus from the YouTube platform. Whilst this isn't out of the ordinary for people accused of horrible things, what Starman did during his time away from the spotlight was unspeakable.
As of May, June, or July, during his hiatus since his departure from Twitter and other social media websites, it was confirmed he still continued his reign of terror on Discord. He victimized more users and has gotten banned on Discord twice since April. This is 3 times now that he was banned.
Starman 3 had allegedly victimized even more underage fans during his supposed break from online activity. This revealed that he likely hadn't left the internet and was instead attempting to avoid the immense backlash while still engaging in the same unacceptable conduct that got him into trouble in the first place.
He broke many promises and backstabbed those who were defending him, victimizing a few of them along the way, and continued to break promises and never stick to his word. This situation has been ongoing for more than 11 years in total. I'm just as confused as you are.
To make matters far worse, Starman had been using alternate accounts to post comments both defending him and making up various lies, with one stating, "Did you hear? Starman 3 is in hospital now from stabbing wounds. He got stabbed in the arm and chest. He's dying. People have been coming into his house and stabbing him and parents. Now he's all alone. It really happened. He doesn't have parents anymore." It was more than safe to say that Starman's intent was to garner sympathy and divert attention from the very serious and well-evidenced accusations that were levied against him. Therefore, in response, the exposed video aptly ended with a message warning viewers to stay away from Starman. However, up until this point, there'd been no official response from him. This was until one upload that changed the situation for good. On the 26th of April 2006, user LucidSecrecy Carmain58 uploaded a video entitled Starman 3 Exposed.
The user that we will be speaking about today is Starman3. Starman3 is a YouTuber and is very famous for his appearance in multiple videos in the past regarding Super Mario 64. He is very famous for also being a pedophile, a racist, incredibly abusive, and power hungry.
The video began with an explanation of who Starman 3 was, how he became so famous in the first place, and an in-depth summary of the terrible accusations which had been levied against him. However, later on, it would reveal something that took the controversy to a whole other level of crazy.
There already has been videos and pictures that explain his very bad behavior over the various years that he's been online on the internet, but he has not improved at all. Even after these videos have been created to inform users of the dangerous threats for our communities, he has still not changed and has since continued to do ERPs for months and asking for explicit photos from said as well.
LucidSecrecy discussed how being exposed didn't stop Starman's degenerative behavior. He revealed how even after the allegations went public, he wouldn't stop targeting showing how little he cared for his reputation and the very serious consequences that should follow such egregious misconduct.
There are quote-unquote friends of his that have been enabling and promoting his behavior over the past 2 to 3 years and have also promoted the excuse of his behavior is his victims leading him on and Asperger's syndrome. Starman 3 has also forced a lot of his victims to draw his icons, artwork which can be NSFW most of the time, and abuses or harasses other victims on occasion. This has caused his Discord account to be permanently banned and locked during his vacation. During the process of making this video, he has made a decision to close his Twitter account to avoid confrontations and has strictly stated that he will not apologize for abusing and soliciting others. His reasoning can't be any more delusional. There will be screenshots presented here to provide evidence to the claims made in the video, including previous videos that I will describe in depth with context as well. Many users have collaborated to make this video possible. Users and victims will be kept completely anonymous.
Next, he discussed how Starman's friends had not only stayed in contact with him, but attempted to justify, defend, and enable his horrible misbehavior. The video explored how many associates, friends, and other creators claimed that his behavior could be justified or explained by his autism spectrum disorder diagnosis, but it is incredibly important to note that nowhere in the diagnosis for autism or Asperger's syndrome are there any symptoms of It is an entirely different diagnosis that even on its own is diagnosed on mental and psychological criteria, not actions. What Starman has done are literal crimes, and the next video showed more screenshots and evidence which proved just how bad they were.
From his terrible hiatus announcement, complaining about people hating him for being a more proof of him young schoolgirl, and his other terrible response.
The video would showcase various instances of Starman engaging disgustingly with revealing a repeated pattern of unforgivable and predatory behavior. However, what was even more alarming and new as opposed to the previous exposed videos we've discussed so far was the response Starman released to everything on Twitter. In the past, we've seen absolutely horrific responses to serious allegations from content creators. However, Starman's may have been one of the worst we've ever seen in the history of the Roblox community. Starman can also be seen saying some very suggestive things towards another victim of his, a schoolgirl. He would also go on to state, "Truth. I feel like nothing to everyone, to be honest. When I ask for a favor, nothing. When I want to help, saying no. It's okay. I'd rather stay quiet than just do something. I lose friends, I lose my best buddy." But not long after, he released a far longer and more direct response to everything, where he straight up admitted to being a child Now, this is a final promise to everyone, including Redacted. I need to stop my addiction, try to listen to people more often, trying to loosen up my sensitivity. Plus, I haven't made any videos, and maybe that is why. I should be more like Redacted than just being a freak. Nobody wants Starman 3. Nobody wants it. Anyways, thanks for the talk, Redacted. I feel much better. It's better to do something than doing nothing, and sorry for the ping. Whilst his apology clearly showed two incredibly positive things, one, that he was willing to take accountability for his past, and two, that he was aware that he'd messed up badly, it's important to note the true weight of his actions. He continually preyed upon numerous for a time span of decades, and even after being called out, did very little to rectify any of his actions. One mess up of this type is literally enough to end a Roblox creator's career, as we've seen in cases such as Fave, Kelligish, along with many others that I've covered on my channel. So when a creator has such a continued, abhorrent, and unchanging pattern of disgusting behavior towards, it becomes somewhat of a joke, and that there will never be any real redemption. These accusations make it so a creator can no longer live a normal life. If you've been exposed as a online, it follows you forever, and whilst it's for a good reason, the impacts on an individual who's been exposed and their future is massive. They can't start another career as a content creator unless they go completely anonymous, and even then they aren't safe from the weight of their actions. They can't even get a normal job, as the digital footprint of which they've built up online will follow them forever and ruin their reputation to a degree where working a normal job can become next to impossible. However, it nowhere compares to the volume of trauma, emotional damage, and lifelong ruin falling victim to one of these disgusting freaks can inflict upon an individual. They're left with psychological issues that will impact almost every aspect of their life for a period of decades at the very minimum. Their career, relationships, and life satisfactions are impacted to such a degree that many are driven to sadly take their own lives. It's no secret that Starman is not an anomaly in the Roblox community. Even during the time he began getting exposed, creators in other YouTube niches akin to the Roblox community, such as children's games like Minecraft, were getting exposed as terrible at an alarming rate. Ever since 2012 onward, we've seen dozens to potentially hundreds of cases where online influencers abuse their massive amounts of power to take advantage of underage and powerless people. In the past year alone, we've seen creators like Ribs, Notive, and Kaneko Kitten from the Roblox animation community be exposed as awful and degenerative who took advantage of fans who were way too young. About 5 months ago, an infamous Roblox was exposed years ago for multiple instances of interactions with young fans, was hiding in plain sight as a YouTuber with over 2 million subscribers. It's undeniable that Roblox has a huge problem, and it extends even further than just the creators. In recent times, Roblox creators such as Ruben Sim and Schlepp have exposed the dark truth about just how many without a platform are using Roblox as a way to access victims. It's genuinely scary just how many old men use Roblox condo games, roleplays, or really any aspect of the game to get in contact with and kids. But as always, if you're new to the channel and you enjoy content like this, please make sure to subscribe, and if you want to watch something similar to this, click the video on screen now.